Well, g'day, Jacob. You're in Fiji.
Apparently, yes, I am in Fiji. And
how does it feel?
Well, it's kind of completely other side of the globe from the place that I used to live. So everything's pretty much the same. Trees are different, and people are extremely nice, and it seems to be like very happy place.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think we have to quantify it to anyone. You're about 12,000 miles in from Portugal, and you're on your own little boat that you built. We've already done for those that are watching, we've already done an interview with you in Panama, which went into your background, so I'm not going to go through that again, right? People are welcome to go and watch that. It's quite interesting. Jacob's a character. So we're going to just sort of put it to you like this. Do you consider, have you pinched yourself yet? You built your boat, you're actually doing it now. It's fair to say. You're a long way around the world and sitting in the tropics in Pacific,
It's quite amazing, because when I started this journey, I didn't believe. And I remember the firstly, when I was looking for the idea, I like, this is the time that comes in your life that, okay, now is the time for your marathon. I always knew that my marathon will be like sailing around the world, and like sailing single-handed around the world is probably every sailor's dream. So it was mine too. And finally, when I got the time to do this, so and I remember I wrote to you the letter because it was like, oh, maximum 30 boats allowed, or then I think even 20. And then I saw the amount of the people purchasing the plans, like about 200 people bought the plans, and 120 blogs, active blogs. And I said, I'm not going to get into, through all this crowd to get into the race. And I wrote you the email saying, Don, what can I do to secure my position in the race? And I think you didn't write back directly to me, but you wrote to someone with similar questions. And I can't remember exactly, but it was like, well, if you're doubting or you're not sure, maybe you should kind of still keep watching your TV, or maybe it's not for you. And then I said, what do you mean it's not for me? That is for me.
Yeah.
So, and no, I took the message, and it's like, you want to do something, just start doing this.
Get in there, it'll happen.
Don't hesitate, don't question yourself, just keep doing.
So you've got a perspective on what it is now. There's a long way to go still, but is it delivering what your dream expected when you decided to start building the boat? You must have had an idea of what it might look like now you're doing it. Is it what you imagined?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Whenever I come across some squalls or hard times, it wasn't in a catalog. And when I talked to manager, and he said, oh, you need to complain to Don because it was not in the catalog, it was not in a contract. Joking, obviously.
Yeah.
No, everything is different. I'm not saying it's worse. It's sometimes way better, sometimes way different. Basically, I couldn't picture. I had no experience. I didn't know what to expect. All this side of the world, I only knew from the books, from the stories, and it was kind of pictures that was created by my mind. And finally, now I'm experiencing them myself. They're a little bit different. That means they're more interesting. And well, I don't know what to say, because I'm so full of the things inside me that I value them like. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah,
I could not be happier. I think all the event is so amazing. Funny thing, maybe it's not so funny, but I went 3 days with my friends. I sailed away, and for the 3 days I was missing all my sailing fellas from Mini Globe Race.
Okay, yeah.
Like missing my family.
Yeah, that's an important part of it. But anyway, so do you think, because physically you're another one that I wouldn't say you've lost a heap of weight. You're looking really fit, you've changed a little bit physically, but you came into it very fit and healthy and this, that and the other. But within yourself, do you think the event is changing you? Is it life changing?
It is.
Yeah.
It is changing, and I feel it is changing me a really good way. It's changing me from the very first time I started to build the boat, because I wasn't in a position to finance everything. I started from practically zero. I got divorced, and I left everything to my family, which I can still in love with, and I started like my new life, and among my friends. And in Ireland, the friendship means a lot, and I got so much support from the people, and I think I am getting a better person regards that. So I value the friendship like the main rule to govern me through the life, and experiencing what I do now. It's also, most of the time I'm very afraid. To be honest, like
most of the time in the MGR in life.
In MGR, in the ocean.
Afraid, yeah.
Afraid, like in the Atlantic, I was thinking, okay, I go to Antigua and I'm not going any farther. I cannot handle so much stress, because before all my sailing was like pleasureful, only the cruising. So what you do, you just make yourself comfortable, relax. Killing time was the problem sometimes. So this is why I took all the books and toys and thinking what I'll be doing in so much time. But when you sail solo, it's not like that, especially in racing. You need to kind of keep pushing and racing. But being on your own in the ocean, in a small boat, making all those decisions, is quite stressful. But I said, okay, I'm not making the decision now. I will make decision when I get there. And every leg, I'm feeling like I'm getting more competent sailor. I know more, I know my boat, I know my weaknesses and abilities, and like now I'm here in Fiji like week and a half, and I'm looking forward to set the sails again.
Yeah, that's exactly, as you can imagine, I've seen a lot of things and a lot of people in sailing and stuff, and that's how we always saw it. You're about to face big challenges going around to Cape Town and stuff, but by the time you leave Cocos and heading down to Mauritius, you'll be well and truly up to it. I can see you've developed all the entrants are developed. You know your boat, this, that, and the other. So when you say tell me about fear. You must have experienced fear and been anxious at times. Can you verbalise some of that?
Yes.
What happened and how you've reacted.
It's actually sailing solo. You have a lot of time for the meditation. You keep steering your boat and thinking about the boat. In the meantime, you meditate. You getting to know yourself much better. And I think generally in my life the problem was I was always doubting in my abilities and my skills. That probably come from my early age, some maybe relations with my parents or relation with my environment. But and what I understood lately, it was since I was born, I always wanted to spend my life on the sea. I was never governed by the money in my life. All I wanted just to. If you tell me, Jacob, come and work with me on the boat, and you have a bunk and you have a food, one food a day, I would just go. But because it was the communist time in Poland and it was not really easy, then I started to do different things. Most of my life I wasn't doing the thing that I love. I was doing the thing that I think I should do to provide to my family, to make my life. And probably this is why I was doubting in myself. And finally, I'm doing the things what I love. So, and I was thinking, if I could be quite successful in the things that I don't like, I should be fully successful in doing the sailing, because this is my thing.
Absolutely. And now it's happening.
It's happening. And then I had a little bit down in the Pacific when I couldn't make my boat move. This was the time when I think started to become a racer than the sailor. So putting like everything to make my boat goes faster. And Adam was building the miles on me, systematically, and I couldn't chase him, and I was frustrated. And I said, okay. Firstly, I was like very angry with myself. It's not my thing. I should come back and start working in a mine or something, because sailing is not me. But then I said, no, Jacob, let's start everything all over again. This is your thing. So for 2 days, I was sleeping and eating, and cooking and eating. Once I got my energy back, then I said, okay, well, let's start everything from the very basic thing. And I made my boat to go much faster, so I caught Adam and I built another 30 miles over him. So I said, okay, we are on the way, good way.
You found the handbrake. You pulled it off.
Yeah, this was the time I found the handbrake.
It was very pronounced actually in this last leg towards the end. You were just slowly but surely, you were like half a knot faster all the time and this, that and the other. So yeah, it's working. So you feel good about that, but we never really got into the fear factor, you know, like, so have you been scared very often, you know, like the conditions or anything like that? Or?
Well, from the very beginning, like the big waves, small boat, I didn't, like before when I was sailing like Biscay Bay or a little bit Atlantic, it was always in the big boats, like 40-foot boats, most often with some crew, and I was always enjoying. I never had a fear, but because I was doubting myself, and my boat wasn't built by the professional boat builder, so it was built by myself. And do I trust myself? I can't be fully sure about this. So I did everything, I think, the best way I could, but there's always something that you might think, maybe you didn't put enough attention to this detail. Maybe this is not strong enough. Maybe you didn't study enough about some parts of the boat. It's kind of doubts. My fear was if the boat doesn't break, I won't break. If I don't lose the mast and the mast don't puncture my boat, I'll be fine.
So how's your relationship with the boat now? You know, like, are you in love with your boat? You know, do you talk to your boat?
Always, sort of always. Especially after some bad weather system or some kind of big waves. She behaves well, and I touch her, I talk to her, I kiss her sometimes.
So you trust her now?
Yeah.
We
talk a lot, actually.
Yeah? What's she talk about?
She's just, the usual stuff, about the past, what we've done together, what we went through for, and plan for the future.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so how have you physically, have you had to dip into the first aid kit very often, and you get bumped around, you have injuries, anything like that? How's that going?
No, I don't have any injuries. Thanks God. I think because the boat is not very comfortable, so there's lots of fittings because this is a racing boat. So there's lots of fitting on the deck, sharp objects. But I usually sail bare feet, so you had to hit yourself a few times before you learn what's and where. But I never had a kind of major accidents or problems. I'm very conscious, plus because I have a wrestling background, so I'm very well attached to the boat, and I can walk like a spider in any part of the boat. Yeah,
that's true. And so how do you cope with living on board? You say it's uncomfortable or whatever it is. You try and describe to me a full day, 24 hours, from sunrise to sunrise, 24 hours. What's your routine?
On the sea?
Yeah, it's sailing. You're racing. The sun's coming up. What have you been doing, or what have you start doing from there, and work it 24 hours?
After night, the first thing, the most important part is anti-murdery juicy juice, which is my coffee with the sugar and milk. It's just a must-have thing. Rest doesn't matter, but this coffee I must have, and I always manage to make one. I have a small stove, spiritus stove, and I can boil the water, makes my coffee. Then after coffee, I just come out on the deck and see what is the day like. Is this according to the forecast or not? So I trim my sail, I check my course, and then I clean my solar panels, adjust them to the sun. And then I do toilet stuff. Then I prepare some navigation, check the waypoints, should I change or should I not? And then trying to have some breakfast or not. I'm not very hungry at sea, but usually I have cereals. So I'm buying this kind of 100 millimeters UHT milk containers, and when I do the coffee, I put a little bit to the coffee, and the rest I put to my porridge, so it gets softened, and then I eat this with honey. That's my kind of best meal of the day. So then once I can correct all my navigation, fill up my logbook, then I do the things to make my boat goes faster, which is the trimming the sails, steering, tweaking the wind pilot, until I'm hungry. then I have some proper meal. Usually I'm trying to eat the veggies and the fish. That's my basic food. But every 3-4 days I try to make like proper dinner, like with the potatoes and the meat and the salad, like, you know, that's like an uplifting thing. And then I steer most of the day, because now the competition is really competition.
You're steering because you want to overpower the wind pilot. And
checking the competitors' positions, where they are. Have I made the miles on them, or they made on me? And this is that fills my day totally.
Yeah,
totally. I've not much time to do other things.
Yeah. How do you use your Starlink? You know, what's the story?
I set it up because it takes lots of energy. So I put this on in the morning and in the evening to check usually after 8 in the morning or 8 in the evening, to check all the positions, and send the messages, take the messages, and check the weather. I'm not having this on all the time, because actually when I set up the Starlink, it wasn't like very happy day, because I lost my what's called solitude.
Yeah.
It's not like solo sailing anymore. So when I was successful to connect the Starlink passing the Galapagos, first thing was, oh, okay, it happens, I have a Starlink, but then I don't have my solo race anymore. But I said, okay, keep it within the brackets. So half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening, just to exchange the messages and see what's going on, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting subject. I usually ask people that question, but you led yourself into the issue of Starlink, and it can be a love-hate relationship, I think. You know, but anyway, that's progress. So, do you think the the next leg is going to be the most serious leg, or how do you visualize it at the moment? You know,
looking at the maps and the charts, it looks serious. However, after talking to you, you calm me down a little bit. However, there is some issues, like in navigation-wise and the weather-wise. There's going to be a bit challenging, and the Torres Strait. So I haven't done my passage plan yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was away, and in the meantime, I saw you send some updates about the rules. So now I can start making the passage plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prepare myself. Well, I'm not the first in the race, so I can always watch what the first people are doing.
You're still in touch, though. You know, like you're having your own little race back there, and you're passing boats.
Yeah. I try to keep doing this.
Yeah. If you had the option of changing something on your boat now, if you wanted to change something, is there anything you'd change? Anything that's...
I have a second-hand wind pilot. Yeah. It's not in the best condition, so I would love to get maybe hydrovane, or maybe new wind pilot. If I had the chance, I would definitely put the full-link system on my Jeep.
Yeah,
that's something I wouldn't go to such a voyage without that.
Yeah,
like before I was thinking full-link system is another €2,000, which you know I was in the best position to get this. Plus I was always thinking that the less thing that can break is better. But so far I haven't break anything on my boat. But the going up on deck each time I change the sail, this is quite awkward. Yeah. So I would definitely change that. Full link system and probably new self-steering.
Yeah. Okay. And the work list you've got now, how's the boat going? You know, in terms of 12,000 miles now, there's another 9,700 Cape Town. So have you got a big list to do with jobs, or everything's looking good?
Basically small modifications, like running the lines different way, because sometimes the line get tangled. So I already realigned the full link systems for my Genakers. That's one thing. I'm gonna service the wind pilot. I wanna take this apart and put this back again, and test before the sailing out.
Yeah.
Then inside I'm reducing. You remember my boat inside was like full of everything.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear you say it's an uncomfortable boat, because yours was your home. You know, when you turned up in Lagos, Marina Lagos, I thought, how cool is that? He's got his hunting gear, he's got a library, hardcover library and stuff.
I left 12 books in Tonga.
Okay.
I still have a few, but you know, I love them too much, and I'm not going to leave them anywhere.
Yeah.
I want to bring them back home and then read them.
Yeah.
But I'm reducing all these things that I don't really need, and plus managing my room, my space, because on the big waves, when the boat is thrown from the side to side, it's not easy to manage yourself in a tidiness. And very often I end up in a very big mess around me. So I don't know where the things are. So now I want to be really racing mood. Only things that I need, tidy, clean, how to say, the open space.
Yeah, yeah. So you're going to leave here with the whole fleet. This is the mass restart for Leg 2. Yeah. Who's your competition? Who's your target? Who are you chasing?
I don't want to tell you. They're all my brothers and sisters. And actually, the biggest fun I have with the racing with Adam, I think we're very kind of similar level of the speed. And if I become lazy for the day or two, he makes up very quickly on me. And then if I put lots of effort and hand steering, then I can catch up with him. He was much ahead of me in leg 1. In this leg I was ahead of him for I think 4 hours. So he's still in general position, he's still ahead of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to catch up another 1 or 2 boats.
Yeah. Okay.
Closest to me.
So you get a lot of time to contemplate the meaning of life. Have you thought about what's next after the MGR?
I often do this. I have so many plans.
Yeah. Can you talk about some? Just ideas?
Yeah, the basic one, because I miss my kids.
Yeah.
And since I live in a beautiful village of Ahada in Cork, I'm really homesick too. So I like to come back to my village. I say it's my village because I've been living there for a number of years, but it's so ideal place, so enormously beautiful people, and it's like one big family. Same is here, and the level of community spirit and the friendship is the highest I have ever experienced. So I love to come back there and spend some time with my kids. So next projects, I promised to my son we're gonna buy some old car and get this fixed, because he's more into the cars. So we might do some Rhode Island or even more rally in the car. But once this is done,
this is racing, rallying.
rally.
Yeah.
Once this is done, I will be keen to come back and see.
Yeah.
Because there is nowhere else that I feel home like than on sea.
Yeah.
This is my environment. When we come to Marina, some sailors, they go rent the logs, cabins, just to get the proper sleep. I don't sleep better on the land. I sleep always better on my boat.
Yeah. How do you manage your sleeping? You know, like do you have the alarm on all the time, or you sleep when you can, and you know, don't set the alarm and things? So
No, I said when I usually can try to sleep in the night.
Yeah.
Because that's a natural biological clock. Plus, I don't have very good sight in the night, and my light of the compass does not. I can't read the compass in the night without the head torch. So sitting with the head torch is quite painful. So I do most of my steering during the day, and then resting and the other stuff I do in the night. However, now Bartek from Mechanica, he fixed my light, so I have a much bigger light, so I probably be able to steer more in the night. Then when I go sleep, I set my alarm every 40 minutes or every 1 hour, and just to wake up, see if I'm still upright.
Yeah.
On the course.
Yeah.
If I am, I fell asleep again.
Okay. So to consider everything from Panama to here, you must have had a high moment, something where it's sort of like, oh yes, this is fantastic, or the biggest thing that's in your mind, the biggest buzz, the happy time, whatever. How could you? What was it, and how can you describe it?
First moment after Panama was when I woke up and the ocean was come flat, like a mirror. And this is something that I was picturing before in my mind, and I wanted to experience this really. And it was such a kind of, you know this moment, you're so like happiness and connection, yes, and just in heaven. But after 3 days, you're like,
Yeah, that was the hell.
yeah, it turns up a different way. I had many moments like this, doing some nice sailing when the weather is beautiful, and I set up the boats and she goes so well. The waves are not big yet, and then I had my coffee with the ginger and the drop of the whiskey and sitting on the deck. Half a night and steering the stars and contemplating the sky. Some moments like when I passed Adam, when I passed Eric, moments like that.
What did you do to celebrate? Just scream?
Not a big celebration, It's just yes, I'm so
feeling.
happy, exchanging the text messages with my manager and
Yeah, that's cool. And so with the sailing journey, the various sections, Panama to Marquesas, then to Tahiti, and then to Tonga and so on, which was the toughest leg, which would you describe as the toughest one? The toughest section?
I think from Marquesas to Tahiti, because Marquesas weather was very damp. I wasn't fully rested, and the problem was I changed the place. I was in 3 different places, so I was nowhere to kind of have a proper rest. Plus there was no marina, so on the anchor with a quite big swell, in the permanently wet. So I wasn't very well prepared, and on the way there was lots of rain, squalls, and confusing sea. So probably this was the hardest. It wasn't like extremely hard, or I was like done with this. No, it was just a harder, I think.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so what do you miss the most? When you're out there. Like the thing, anything.
Besides ice creams?
Yeah, well, that's one thing, but next? What's the biggest thing that you think, oh, yeah, I miss this or whatever?
Yeah, as I said, I miss my kids very much.
Yeah.
I have a very good connection with my kids, and I miss them a lot. I miss my girlfriend. I miss ice creams.
Yeah.
I miss my friends.
Yeah.
Because I love solo sailing, but I think the stages in a life, like life, it's not about the destination; it's about the journey itself.
Yeah.
But now I'm in the stage; it's not even about the journey; it's about the company.
It's interesting, because everyone says, I won't say says something similar, but they obviously miss a certain thing. But do you realise or appreciate or understand when you're doing this is the beauty of you get to think about what's really important in your life.
Yeah.
It's something with special moments where you are out there, no distractions. You just think about things, and you understand that. You enjoy it or you realise it.
Yeah, this is a basic thing, and then I hope going to this journey that I finally will have a time to think about that. Yeah. So, what is the most important thing in your life? So there are 2 things important in your life. Let's say 3. So. Number 1 would be friends. Number 2 would be your health, and number 3 would be adventure.
Yeah.
The rest doesn't count.
What's your definition of adventure?
I like your definition of adventure.
Okay.
But for me, adventure was usually the best adventure was spontaneous. That okay, let's do something, and then we do something.
Yeah.
It's not the things that you plan for the years and get everything together and you have like schedule. It's not. When I, for example, like to kind of visit some town or place, I don't like to have a plan that okay, I need to see this cathedral, I need to see this museum, I need to see. I like to get into the current of the local life and be taken by the current, and the current always takes you in some most interesting parts of the life that the tourists normally don't experience.
Yeah, that's a very relevant thing. So, I mean, you've invested time, you've invested money, you've invested a big chunk in your life. Was it worth it for the MGR? Was it worth it?
Every penny.
Yeah,
every penny.
Long time coming. So, what would you say to another person who's thinking about just building a 580 because it's a nice project, or doing the Transat, or doing the MGR? How would you? What would you say to them?
I would say, do not worry at all. Be careful what you dream about, because the dream comes true.
Yeah.
And just keep doing.
Just keep going.
And one little bit done, one little bit less to do. That's one of my best friends. She used to come to my workshop, and you know, when I was exhausted, sometimes, like, you know, usually when you are very tired, your cycle goes down, and then you start doubting yourself. And I think she even took some pictures when I was literally like sleeping, you know, in the overall mask and the goggles. After sanding, I was just resting on hull of my boat, like, sleeping, literally sleeping. And she took some pictures, and now we, you know, now we can. She made beautiful album.
Yeah.
And she used to say, "Oh, don't worry, Jake, don't do launching. One thing done, one thing less to do."
Yeah.
And you know, just keep doing.
Yeah. It's a very, you know, that's the strange thing that is different with the MGR versus the other events that we do, is that people, when you've built your own boat, you've already invested so much in it. And you look at your boat, you know, even if you haven't even sailed it, you look at the boat and say, geez, I did this. I now need to sort of at least give us a chance to see what happens. And then it all starts to fall into place, and you don't want to go back. You just want to keep going forward. It's an amazing thing, you know, building the boat routine to get there. It's quite something. Okay, anything else you want to get across to your followers and family and friends and everything?
The first thing I want to just to say, thank you to all my kind of sailing family for MGR family, because even an hour ago I talked to Dan on his boat. We were sitting just, you know, chilling out and talking about things, and we found out that when this is finished, we're gonna have a problem, because you know, we are so close to each other.
Yeah.
And then like our life becomes this, and to come back to our kind of previous life might be kind of a little bit hard. Not that we don't miss our relatives, because we do. That's a big time. But you know, we are so well connected. Even during the building the boat, we exchanged so many information, helping each other to find the source the things and fix the things, that when we met first time, we were already very good friends.
Yeah. It's crazy, eh? I experienced something similar, you know. We have this internet relationship with someone for years, and then we finally see him at an event. It's like, whoa!
Yeah.
And it's as if
I thought you were taller.
Yeah. Oh, well, some of that, but you know, a lot of it is like you feel as if you've known each other forever, you know, and it just sort of happens, you know.
I like it, but honestly, I like to give the big thanks to all my friends, close friends, and the friends that I meet sometimes. Because you know, we are spread all around the world, for the help, for the support, even the writing some warm words in the Facebook. It's when you are at sea and see someone who's kind of liking your post, or you know, saying some warm words. This is kind of really helpful, the uplifting. Plus all the friends that they were helping me with the project, because without the friends, we are nothing.
Yeah, it's all about people.
We are dust.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people living their adventures through you right now, you know. It's part of the course. Yeah. Okay, good job, mate. Good to chat. We'll do it again in Cape Town, if not before. And good luck with the next leg, and we'll see you out on the start line and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay.
Thank you very much, Don.
Yep, thanks, buddy. See ya.